You can get a ticket to the Dolphins-Titans Monday Night Football game for as low as $22. You know, something tells me that that price this early in the season is not a good sign. And I stand correct, as it's the battle of Boyle v. Levis. Fucking atrocious. The only reason I'll be paying attention to this monstrosity of a game is because I have A-Chain in fantasy. There might be a total of 8 turnovers in this game, 1 for every concussion that Tua has had. What a nice gesture by those teams. Trevor Lawrence threw 1 pick to Damar Hamlin for every time he has died. So just 1. But now Hamlin needs to get a pick for every time he's come back to life. Now that would be pretty sick. The Jacksonville Jaguars are just a bad football team. They aren't even the most popular Jaguar in their state. That would be their half-naked mascot dressed up as a Jaguar. I'm Matt. The 49ers suck right now, and the only thing I look forward to every Sunday is seeing my glorious king, Brock Purdy, shred opposing defenses only for our fucking defense and Kyle Shanahan to blow another 10-point lead right before our very eyes. This is Balls Deep, and this is NFL Week 4. Let's get it. Now, Packers and Vikings. The Vikings going 4-0 with Sam Darnold would be the most impressive thing since the Packers going 2-0 with Malik Willis. It does look like, though, that the Packers will have Jordan Love back, which is huge for that passing game. I think the last few weeks just goes to show how good of a coach Matt LaFleur is. Minnesota's defense has had at least 5 sacks in every game this season. The Packers' defense has only allowed 5 sacks total this season, so something's got to give. And something to take note of, an interesting stat about the Vikings defense, they call dime coverage the most out of any NFL team, which basically means they have 6 defensive backs, with the 6th DB basically being a safety that's playing linebacker. And you see this a lot, but it's usually with a team that has a guy that they trust in both run fits and in the pass game. And that's pretty rare. Not everyone has that. And the Vikings, they definitely do have that with Metellus. And, I mean, they'll play Harrison Smith there. They'll play Bynum. And Harrison Smith, man, guy's like a fossil, and he's still balling. So, it's my dog. If there is a weakness, though, on this defense, I think it's at corner. And yeah, it's definitely corner. They're vulnerable at that position, but Minnesota is so good with their scheme and like making you throw underneath and to the side, to the flats. Like they're basically like just forcing you to eventually break and just make a mistake because they're basically baiting you. They show you something, and the second you think you got something, they take it away and they bait you into making a crucial error. Yeah, nobody runs defense like the Vikings. They're just truly unique. I can go on and on about this shit. There's definitely plays to be made, though. Like the Niners had a whole bunch of yards. They moved the ball up and down the field. I mean, we just turned the ball over a lot. I mean, they shut down the Giants. They shut down the Texans. I mean, when you got as good a play caller as Kyle Shanahan, you're going to get yours a little bit. But other than that, man, they are just locking people up. Nobody can do shit against them. In terms of coaches going at it, I think this is going to be a great matchup with LaFleur and Flores. Broncos and Jets, Perk Rogers versus Big Dick Knicks. Or should I say Viagra Knicks? Jets defense looked like they woke the fuck up against the Patriots. And I know it's the Patriots, but they just completely shut them down. Like, they couldn't even get a first down. I don't even think Brissett had over 100 passing yards. Fucking guy, man. And the Jets offense just left a lot out there, too. They should have had at least 38 points on the board, I feel like. But they're built to win in the playoffs, like late in the year. They got 2 bruisers at running back, a quarterback who's been there, done that. You already know what he's going to bring. Their defense is so physical and just so well coached. And if they stay healthy, they're elite. They're an elite team. And that beatdown on Monday night, Rodgers told the team, people are going to write us off after week 1, and it's going to be a whole thing, and then we're going to come back and show them, why they shouldn't write us off. I think this week, the Jets are going to put the NFL on notice. I'm not going to say it's going to be a blowout, but I really want it to be because I'm rooting for Rodgers, and I want him to, dot up, throw 4 touchdowns and just put them away early and make it a statement game, But we'll see. We'll see. The Broncos got no fucking chance. Saints and Falcons. Now, coming into this year, everyone was probably circling this on their calendars. They said, okay, divisional game. Both teams have high expectations. But this is definitely probably a lot more crucial than at first thought. If you drop 2 straight after that start for the Saints, that's tough, especially to a team that hasn't scored more than 22 points in a game. And if you start 1-3, if you're Atlanta, you dug yourself in a huge hole, like a big gaping hole, kind of like after the refs fucked the Falcons out of that win on Sunday night, kind of like they did to the Niners in the Super Bowl too. So we're all victims here. This is the Me Too movement of falling victim to the refs glazing the Chiefs, doing backflips on Mahomes' cock. All right, we're getting a little off topic here, but wanted to circle back. The Falcons suck. They continue to underutilize their weapons. Nothing has changed. The way that they use Bijan, the way that they use Kyle Pitts just hasn't really changed. Darnell Mooney looks good, but they just can't seem to get Drake London the ball in effective ways. So it really just, there's no like correlation. I don't know if that's the right word. There's no unison. There's no, complementing each other. Arthur Smith looks like he did more with less, to be honest. It's kind of surprising. I'm not saying that team was good, but just they had a fighting chance at the playoffs late in the year, but fucking Desmond Ridder. I mean, if that doesn't say something, I don't know. It was supposed to be a big change with Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator, coming in from the Rams. Been there since 19, been to a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl, but looks like he left all he learned in LA because the offense situationally has just been poor, very poor. Except for that last drive against Philly. I mean, they looked like the greatest show on turf. But Saints need this game too. 3-1 is a much different feeling than 2-2, especially when you blew the Panthers and Cowboys out of the fucking water. I mean, you didn't just blow them out of the water; you blew them out of the holy water. They needed Jesus after that loss. Bears and Rams. Stafford's a dog, man. Stafford is so good. So is McVay. Hate to even say it, but I gotta admit it. Got to give credit where credit is due. 45 of 99 of Matthew Stafford's wins have been game-winning drives. Stafford all of a sudden is carrying that Rams team. Don't put away the Rams just yet. The Bears playing the way that they did last week and being favored in this game just makes no sense. I don't get it. Whatever the fuckers in Vegas are doing, those cheap fucks. Sean McVay is inevitable. If you think he's going in there and getting outscored by Matt Ebe, no effing way. Bears defense will make some plays. They'll keep it close, but no. The way that their offensive line is playing, their run game sucks dick. God, the Bears are just so bad. Only reason they have a shot is because their defense and how injured the Rams are, but that wasn't an issue last week. It's like what having an offensive coach like McVay does, gets you points where points may not exist. Gives you a chance to stay in the game with a schemer like that. They're not bad. They're injured. If they weren't injured, they'd be pretty solid. Yeah, the Bears have a long way to go in the run game, though. Eberflus knows that. It's been underwhelming. Swift, I think, is just going to lose his job. I mean, dude, he is just... It's really bad. I don't even know what the fuck they're trying to do. They just have no physicality up front. They can't run power. They can't run, in between the tackles. They just have... They really don't have any answers but making Caleb throw. He threw it 54 fucking times or 52 times last week. Steelers and Colts. The Steelers are on pace to be the best defense in team history and maybe league history. It's still early, but they're on pace to break the record for least points allowed in a 16-plus game season. Now, that's really impressive, and I know it's just 3 weeks, like I said, but it's the Steelers, okay? The Steelers always have a good defense, and they're outdoing themselves from years past with the Tomlin coach teams. 2008, 2010, their defenses were they committed aggravated assault every week. I think Justin Fields, too, I think he'll keep this starting job. I'm happy for him, man. He deserves it because he honestly, he didn't look bad in Chicago. He had games where he looked really good, but he also had games where he looked horrible. So I understand how it's you don't know. You got to make the decision to move off of him, but man, the Steelers are a different team. You got Tomlin. You got a chance no matter who you are, no matter what position you are. He's going to put you in the best position to succeed. Let's put it this way. It's his team to lose. Still don't know what they're going to do, but I don't see a situation where Russ comes back and just takes over just like that. No way. Anthony Richardson, man, he looks lost. Threw 5 picks in the last 2 weeks. I don't think Shane Steichen feels like he can do everything that he wants with him. When you only complete 36 passes in the first 3 weeks, 36 passes in the first 3 weeks. That's how many he's completed. So that's what, like 12 a game? Something tells me something's not gelling with the coordinator, the quarterback, and the receivers. They got too many good weapons in the pass game, good offensive line. Richardson is a dual threat running quarterback. Chill out. Too many good weapons. JT, Richardson, offensive line, like they should be better than what they've shown. Even going against a defense like the Packers, I get it. Still, even the Bears are a good defense, but it's interesting to see what this Colts team will look like in like 3 weeks. It could get ugly, man. This is no guaranteed win. They could easily drop this. But yeah, I think Pittsburgh they look like they're going to make the playoffs, man. I mean, they have to with that defense, right? There's no way they miss it. Anyway, Jags-Texans. A team has never needed a win more than Jacksonville does right now. Dougie P, great guy. Super Bowl champ on the hot seat. Like, what's going on? Doesn't look physical, especially on the offense. They have nobody they trust out there running at routes or whatever they're doing. I don't even know. They could just be fucking playing hopscotch at receiver. They just don't have that guy. They don't have that guy that they can turn it loose to. They can get like 8 targets a game, 10 targets, 12 targets a game. They need someone like that, and I don't think that they have that right now. Or maybe they just are just terrible at getting the ball to those guys. And they're injured too on defense. It's a tough situation. And it's hard to do anything really when their offense is so bad. So it's kind of put in this situation that, you're injured here. You don't really have other guys stepping up, making plays. Lawrence probably had the worst game of his career on Monday, not counting his rookie season, if you want to say, because his rookie season was just not fair. You got a situation where you go 0-4, you're looking at a serious hole. 0-4 is, the streak I went on last time I went to the bar, so I get the feeling. Houston can't lose to an 0-3 team, especially after starting 2-0 and then getting embarrassed by the Purple People Eaters in Minnesota. It's tough for both teams. There's a lot of games this week where it's like, each team loses. It sucks. I mean, it always sucks to lose, but like with this, Houston, you're dropping 2 games straight after starting 2-0. Jaguars, it obviously is worse for them if they go 0-4. I mean, it's like, I think you need to go for like a young OC, to someone that can mesh with Lawrence better. They just don't look like they have an identity, And they really didn't have an identity when they made the playoffs even that one year. Yeah, I think Doug Peterson is gone after the season if they can't, turn things around. But we'll see. I mean, how about that Nico Collins, though? How about Nico Collins? I mean, we could talk about a lot of guys in this matchup that are pretty good, but Nico Collins is a beast. And I'm going to be honest, I kind of thought that he was going to get lost in the sauce of Dell and Diggs and Mixon, and I didn't really think that he was going to have the year he did last year. I thought he was going to kind of fall off a little bit of a cliff. But the guy looks like, reminds me of number 11 out there in Atlanta in his prime, looking like Julio Jones a little bit, running through guys, running away from guys, big 6'4", 215, can stiff arm you, might be 220 even. Cards and commies. Now, there's no doubt that the Commanders get deja vu watching Jayden Daniels, as it reminds them of a quarterback they once had with promising potential whose career was unfortunately cut short. I'm talking, of course, about Colt McCoy. Now, you may say, cut short? He played a long time in the NFL. Yeah, can't get enough of Colt McCoy. You can never get enough of Colt McCoy. His career was cut short. Fucking Texas legend. That fucking guy's a legend, dude. I want to see Colt McCoy play in the NFL still. The similarities between Daniels and McCoy are uncanny. For example, both of them play quarterback. No, but seriously, the Commanders have definitely found their QB after a miserable 7-year search after the Kirk Cousins era. Jayden Daniels, far and away, has looked like the best rookie quarterback of his class. It's kind of hard not to be if all you got to do is compete with the Bears' offensive line and Bo Nix. And that Commanders secondary, I mean, been getting burnt like Brandon Carr all year. So I do expect this game to hit the over, and not only hit the over, but punt it into outer space. The pass rush for the Commanders has basically been non-existent. Cardinals' defense is actually a lot better than they probably thought themselves, but I think this game is going to have some points. Commanders, their defense in general is just non-existent. It's really bad, but I think Kyler's a good start for fantasy. Jayden Daniels too. It should be a high-scoring game. I hope it is. Two young quarterbacks going at it. And Cliff Kingsbury, the return to Arizona. He's looking good, man. He's dialing up some good plays. To do this with a rookie quarterback, too, with a team that just isn't really that good, to be honest. Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury are doing a hell of a job. Solid job. I mean, you got their college offense. Nice little college offense, according to CTB. Shout out CTB. That was a sick pick week 1. We don't forget about that. You're a baller. Just want to shout you out. Love the Bengals. Love your game. They ran that nice little college offense and dropped 38 on their dome. Well, butter my butt and call me butter ass. We have the same record as the fucking Patriots. The only thing that is scarier than that is our injury report. Every week seems like something new with the Niners. This is like 2020 all over again. Javon Hargrave just lost him for the year. Curtis Robinson is most likely done. Actually, yeah, he just tore his ACL. I just got that word coming in from a source, reliable one, yours truly. No, I'm just kidding. I got that from Brad Graham, the GOAT. Shout out the SF Niners, the freaking GOAT, man. That guy is a really hard worker, good at what he does. Greenlaw doesn't come back until week 8 or perhaps later. Hafunga's questionable. We got 1 foot out the door, and we're close to never coming back if we lose this game. Seriously, like we're gonna get kicked out of the house of playoffs. The playoff house, and we don't have the key. Yeah, trying to say we might not make the playoffs if we lose this game. Patriots, no doubt, have looked better than most thought, except for that brutal Thursday Night Football beatdown where Aaron Rodgers rose from the black shadows of darkness, which for some girls just means that they just stopped dating NBA athletes. Even with some injuries, San Francisco is far and away the more talented team. I mean, it's hard to say that any of that matters when you don't play like it. And, right now, we're pretty evenly matched the way we're fucking playing. So I think George Kittle's good to go. Just got the word. Oh, he's good to go. Debo's questionable. If I were them, I wouldn't even really play him. You kind of get him on a snap count and see how he feels. This is a get-right game if there ever was one. New England does play sound up front. I mean, they got an answer for everything. They're really well coached up there. Keon White, man. That guy's a demon. He's got a 90-plus pass rushing grade. One of few pass rushers that have that. Gonzo, man. Good young corner. Kyle Duggar. They got versatile pieces on that defense that Mayo likes to move around, do a bunch of things with. They play very disciplined. It's going to be a tough challenge. But yeah, Kyle's a schemer, man. We all know this. The guy's going to give us some great looks. If Debo's good to go, he's good to go. So, like I said, but if he's even feeling a bit off, slight bit off. I mean, he wouldn't feel off if he, if he's going to play. He's good. Like, he's 100% is basically what I'm saying. But still, just to be safe. And there's a good chance that you may not even need him. I'm going to bank on Kyle getting his guys right, getting our guys right for this game. I think a big game, though, is possible after seeing the holes that New England has left in the middle of the field multiple times this season. I mean, we just saw Conklin, fucking guy. I mean, I don't think I've seen that guy have a 90-yard game in his life. And he just, torched them for 94, I think, on Thursday night. So, I mean, George, just the middle of the field in general. I mean, our offense, minus some turnovers and, not putting the Rams away last week, has looked great. We've looked really good. And it's just not being able to finish, really. Like, obviously, finishing that game that last week. Week 1, we looked good, but also still left a lot out there. Like, I feel like we could have put up at least 40 that game. Or maybe, I'd say at least 37 points, 36. And also Minnesota. We turned the ball over way too much. Offensive line, like I said, they were just bad. Really bad. Purdy looks amazing. I hope I don't jinx that. Purdy is balling out right now. That guy, hands down, you can make the argument that he's top 3, right? Top 3 right now. I'd say he's top 3 all the time, but, neither here nor there. Patriots are not going to be put away easily. They're going to have a plan. They're going to, I don't know who their wide receiver 1, 2, or 3 is. It's like every week it's different. So that's something that's also kind of an advantage on their part because you don't know who to study, what to study, really. It's a new group in a way and new quarterback, new scheme. It's different. And, honestly, it's an advantage to them, even though, they don't have the most talented guys or at least the most seasoned guys. Just get right, man. Defense, get more physical. God damn it, Fred is just so good. That guy, if we didn't have that fucking guy, I don't know where we would be. This is the thing, though. Mooney, Jair, Devondre, so many guys. I mean, you guys got to, come on, bro. Snap out of it. I say this because I know you're so much better than that. It's been tough, bro. It's been a tough couple weeks seeing those guys. Demo's solid. We got a problem on the outside, though, when Demo goes in the slot, like Yadam and Nardo. I mean, I'd just say you put in Nardo just because. I mean, how much of a fall off would it be if you put in Yadam? I mean, if you put in Nardo over Yadam. Izzy is just, he's the outlier. Everyone knows it. At least Nardo, you don't really got film on him besides his college film. I guess, it's just a thought. We'll see what happens, We'll see what happens. And I also don't ever think I don't know. Playing Logan Ryan in the slot over Diamador Lenore was a mistake in the Super Bowl. 100%. Just saying. Can't let go of the past. That's just my ego. Sorry. All right, last game. What do we got? Bills-Ravens. Sunday night. Good game. Bills look like the best team in football. Haley Steinfeld was at the game, apparently, and was not shown once. Fuck the NFL for doing that. Joe Brady could honestly be looking at a future head coaching job, the way that he's gotten the most out of that offense with not really having a true wide receiver one, and he uses all of his weapons in so many different ways to keep defenses on their heels. Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, Khalil Shakir, Mac Hollins, Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, James Cook all get involved. And the threat of Josh Allen running also makes everything even harder. Credit Joe Brady for making this offense work even better, honestly, after losing their top two receivers. And credit Sean McDermott too, the whole staff, because I say that because there's only a few teams I feel like in the NFL that could make that work. To lose your top two receivers and still find a way. The Ravens defense, though, they just seem off to me. Their run defense is good, but they don't force QBs into making mistakes like they used to in the past. They're getting pressure on the quarterback. It's still pretty good, but if you go against Baltimore, if you have time against that defense, it's like nobody's in the secondary. Going back to the coverage breakdown they had turning Worthy loose in week 1, Raiders come back with Minshew and making Minshew and Bowers look like Brady and Gronk. Dallas, even though it was pass heavy, it's a 2-score game. I mean, it's not a blowout. You're trying to get off the field. It's a different defense. It's a different secondary. They don't look the same. It could be a long day. I mean, the way that Josh Allen is playing, it could be a long, long day for them if they can't get off the field. And if the Bills find a running game. I mean, the Ravens' run defense, like I said, is good, but if they can get Cook and Allen going, Andrews is a ghost. Literally. It's not even a joke. I don't even think the guy had a target last week. But the Ravens look good, though. But obviously, Derrick Henry is not going to run for, and they're not going to run for 200-plus yards every game. So it was a small sample size of, what they could look like. But Monday Night Football, Tennessee, Miami, battle of ass, the battle of mid, the battle of backups, fucking Will Levis. Dude, he's going to, bro, you already know what my guy Will Levis is going to pull out. He's about to pull out the screenshot of the century. And that's just going to get outdone the next week. And then the next week. And Tim Boyle versus... Actually, I don't even know. I don't know who the fuck is starting for Miami. Who cares? Holy hell. This game is going to be boring as hell. Watch it be the best game of the year. The Titans are bad. They're so bad. And what makes it even worse is that talent-wise, they're pretty good. D-Hop is still D-Hop. He's old, but he can still do some good things. Calvin Ridley is really good. Tony Pollard is really good. Tajay Spears is really good. You got Jeffrey Simmons, Sebastian Joseph Day, Kenneth Murray and Ernest Jones, Harold Landry. You got Arden on the edge, Jack Gibbons, Quandre, L'Jarius Sneed, man, McCrary. I mean, they got a good team. Awuzie, they put Awuzie on IR. That sucks. Awuzie is a good player, man. Will Levis came in his first game through 4 touchdowns. It's crazy how that can happen. Just one game, you look like you're on top of the world, and then you think all the preparation, all the learning, and then you just fall flat on your face. Detroit and Seattle, I think that's going to be a good game. Detroit Lions are debuting their black uniforms. They're all black uniforms. Geno Smith is playing really good. The Seahawks are 3-0 somehow. They could possibly go 4-0, which would not be good for us because then that means we're just 2 games behind them if we win and 3 games behind them if we lose. You can't run on Detroit. You just can't run on them. I mean, they just completely shut down everybody that they've went up against. So Seattle is going to pass a lot. I think all 3 receivers for Seattle can be in for a big game. Jackson Smith and Jigba especially. Been waiting for him to break out. I got him on my bench, man. You know, Neighbors just dropped 23 for me, so I'm thinking I can kind of play around with my flex a little bit. So I think I might leave him in there, JSN, just because I want to. I want to see what he can do. It's Friday after 5. Got here just in time. And I hit him with a line before I went and lost my mind. And I've been here long, but the bobbers in the pond going up, down, up, down, up, down. Lime up on the rim of that Dixie Silver, smoking up a faded out 4x4. Girls heading off to the river, yeah, Victoria's Secret ain't a secret no more. I brought the songs and you brought the party. Only one way to do it upright. Going in, man. Week 4, we're getting fucking lit. It's already 4 weeks into the season, bro. God damn. Before you know it, it's going to be playoffs. Before you know it, the Niners are going to be losing in the Super Bowl again. Bold of me to assume that we'll even make it there. It's been balls deep. God, it's Friday. I'm feeling good. Nice little show for you. Dude, the views have been pumping the last 2 weeks. I mean, you know, a couple hundred, 800, almost 1,000 on each of them. But thank you guys so much. I really want to say I appreciate it. So yeah, fuck yeah, gabagool, bada bing, go Niners, go Buckeyes. I'm from New Jersey. Your sister's ass, your mother's ass. Let's get it. NFL Week 4. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Go follow the Deep Ball on Instagram. Don't forget. Go follow the Deep Ball on Instagram. Best football content out there. I'll see you later. Thanks.